Yeah, very good morning to you all, dear students. Welcome back to our LSC video lecture series, and this is part of Module 2. In Module 2, we are going to have 3 sessions, Session 4, 5, 6, and here my video lecture is regarding Session 5. Already we have completed Session 5, video lecture 4, and this is video lecture 5. You have already known, dear students, that Module 2 is regarding vocabulary and word precision, okay, in which today this video lecture 5 is going to talk about professional and corporate vocabulary. So you have already known, guys, that the entire module is regarding 3 sessions. Totally 3 sessions are regarding vocabulary. By now you could understand how much it requires, how much the vocabulary is very important when you are making your presentations, and not just professional presentations, guys. When you are exhibiting your ideas, when you are expressing your views, the vocabulary is very important because it all based on your knowledge, how good you are at using or making use of your professional and corporate vocabulary. So here in this video lecture 5, we are going to focus on professional and corporate vocabulary. So just imagine it's your first day at work. So obviously when you complete your 4 years of BTech degree, what your intention? What do you want to be? What is your goal? So absolutely sometimes you want to be placed, okay, you want to see yourself be placed in an MNC, or else you want to just go for your higher studies, or else you want to be an entrepreneur starting up your own business. And you know, guys, all these 3 platforms, let it be your corporate environment at workplace, or let it be your higher studies, let it be in your own country or going abroad, or else starting up your own business or becoming or carrying forward with your family business. All these 3 scenarios requires making use of your professional language. Don't feel like, ma'am, I am not doing my job, I am going to continue with my family business. Still you require making use of your professional vocabulary, right? Because you are in such platform. Right. Now let me start with a question at first. Imagine it's your first day at work. Your manager says, please review the proposal before tomorrow's deadline. We will discuss the deliverables with the stakeholders after the briefing. Shall I repeat, guys? Right, please go through that. Please review the proposal before tomorrow's deadline. We will discuss the deliverables with the stakeholders after the briefing. So here, my question is, how many of these words do you actually understand? How many unfamiliar words have you come across? Just go through that again and try to identify the words which you couldn't define. So by the end of this video lecture, you will know these words and be ready to use them in engineering projects, internships and future jobs. Because don't feel like what is this deadline, stakeholder, deliverables. Ma'am, this is my cup of tea, right? Because I am an engineer, I do understand only the technical terms. But still sometimes at your workplace, in the corporate environment, you have to make use of such vocabulary, because you are in corporate environment, you are in such workplace environment where not only your engineering terminology would help you always. Sometimes you have to make use of even such kind of terminology. So what is the learning outcome? When you complete this video lecture, after watching this video, you can identify professional vocabulary and then understand workplace communication, and then use professional words instead of informal ones prepared for the in-class activity. So after going through this one, keep it in mind, because the same thing is going to continue in our classroom. The first of all, the outcome would be identify the professional vocabulary. Absolutely, you have to identify it, right? You have to differentiate between your plain English that you are going to make use of every day, and then what kind of professional language you have to make use of, And then what is the workplace communication? When you are in your job place, when you are in your corporate environment, what kind of terminology you are going to make use of? And then use professional words instead of informal ones. Because in the formal setting it requires your formal usage of language instead of informal ones. Then how are you going to make use of? Okay. Now, why should you learn professional vocabulary? Then why is it required? What is the reason behind learning professional vocabulary? Because already you people are engineers, you are able to identify the lapses in your field, and then you are able to cope up with, and you are able to update yourself with the recent advancements in the technology and the AI tools and all this. Then why this vocabulary is used? You will use your student vocabulary handbook. Already that handbook might be there before you open this video lecture as your professional learning resource. It contains a carefully selected list of professional and corporate vocabulary that you will use throughout this module. Now, why should you learn professional vocabulary? Why should you learn? First of all, communicate professionally. When you are in the professional environment, when you are in the official environment, absolutely it requires communicating everything in a professional manner. That's one thing. And then build workplace confidence. If you are really good at making use of professional language, if you have sound knowledge in using professional vocabulary, absolutely it makes you feel confident. Because you don't feel bad when something is asked, okay, in our presentation or somewhere in the workplace environment. If you have good enough professional vocabulary, then you can answer everyone well. Then you can give your ideas very clearly, then you can express your views very clearly. So ultimately it leads a kind of confidence, it boosts up your confidence definitely. And then it improves your employability, definitely guys, because usually not by looking at your CGPA they will give you an offer, right? The way you speak, the way you exhibit your spoken skills and your communication skills, absolutely. It fetches you good employability, even it increases, okay, it enhances your own capability. And then you can get prepared for yourself for industry. Like you can be a competent person at your workplace. When will you use it? Okay, when you have to, what are the different scenarios in which you have to make use of this professional vocabulary? One is when you are drafting your emails and reports. So when you get into your workplace environment, you need to draft your emails, reports, because nowadays letters are not much drafted. In place of letters, we are drafting emails for quick response and for quick delivery. And then sometimes you have to even give your reports showing your progress, right? For which you have to make use of your definitely professional vocabulary. Okay, and then when you are attending your meetings and when you are in discussions, it requires your professional vocabulary. Instead of using very plain English, okay, then you have to show your vocabulary, okay, enrichment. And then when you are attending your jobs, like when you are facing your interviews and when you are attending for your internships also, it requires making use of professional vocabulary. And then at the time of presentations as well as interviews. So these are all the scenarios that requires your professional usage of language. And then how can you learn all this? How can you learn this professional vocabulary, dear students? So first of all, refer to the handbook which we have already provided for you. That's one way. And then watch this video carefully so that you can understand the importance of using professional vocabulary. And then note new words in your personal word bank. Whatever the word that you come across, like stakeholders, okay, deadline, deliverable. So all these maybe new words. Try to identify the meaning. Start making use of the same words, the same vocabulary in your daily usage also, so that you can master such vocabulary. And then complete the LMS quiz and classroom activities. And why is professional vocabulary? For what reason we should learn this one? Professional vocabulary consists of words commonly used in workplaces industries, meetings, projects, reports, and business communication. Right? So it helps you communicate clearly, professionally, efficiently, and confidently. Everyday English versus professional English. Then what is the difference between these two? Now look at the words. In everyday usage, what do we say? Plan. Arey, what is plan for today? You can ask a friend like that one. But when you go to your workplace, you can't ask, yeah, mister, what is the plan for today? You can't use that one, right? Because that doesn't sound professional. Then what is the proposal? Just give me the proposal activity for this week. And then what is the goal? And then what is the objective? Work together, collaborate. We don't say work together. Ma'am, we go and sit in the last table and we work together. That's okay. When you are students, that's okay. But when you are with a team, you are going to collaborate, not like working together. Like problem, issue, comments, feedback, final date. Okay, ma'am, what is the final date for paying fees? That's okay. Then what is the deadline for this project? We can't simply ask like, ma'am, what is the final date for completing this project? Here it requires your professional words, professional terms. And then the words you need to know. Here are the words like stakeholder. Who are called stakeholders, guys? Because right from the beginning of the session, I have been using the stakeholder. Stakeholder is the interested party. The stakeholder approved the proposal. Like even you people, you become stakeholders for the institute. Agenda, proposal, feedback, deliverable, deadline, and all this. And here is the workplace scenario like project manager, today's agenda, review the proposal, assign the deliverables, collect the feedback, meet the deadline, present to the stakeholders. So, what are the words in the board? You do understand that these are all the professional terms which you have to make use at your professional environment, guys. Like here, see, replace the informal words. We need to finish. Instead of that one, what you have to use? Our plan was approved. Instead of plan, what you are supposed to use? Comments. Then how is it going to replace in a professional manner? Okay. So here is the one which you have to go through, and then before you come to class, first of all, read professional and corporate vocabulary, and then review the meanings, start your professional word bank, complete the LMS quiz, and get ready to take your activity in class. So, professional and corporate vocabulary. Learning vocabulary is not about memorizing words, it's about using the right word in the right context. Where does it require? So, you should learn that one. Every new word you learn today is an investment in your future as professional engineer. So, this is all regarding professional and corporate vocabulary, guys. See you in the classroom. Be ready to discuss your examples and share your vocabulary discoveries. Have a great day. Thank you.